Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Opening Decades Old Canned Foods. Right here we have 6 really old products, and we're going to open them up to see how gross they are inside and see how much they look alike to what they used to be. Are they recognizable, or are they just complete unrecognizable slurry, mush, dried out? Let's see the condition of these cans. At least 3 of them are known to be leaking already. All right, everybody, now we're going to get a close-up look at all these cans before we start opening them up. The oldest one is from the 1950s. Unfortunately, it's the one over here, which doesn't actually have the product in it. I don't see any evidence of it being opened, which makes me think it was a display can. Back in the day, many companies did this. They would sell cans just for you to keep at home on display. It looks just like everything else, they just weren't filled with anything. It's got the big lead seal, and it doesn't really say much more. Back in those days, no nutrition facts, no expiration date, nothing was required to be on it. Anyways, the oldest can with food in it is this one right here, the Pocahontas Black Eyed Peas, which was produced in 1963. Let's get a close look at that. We actually opened a very similar product to this about 3 years ago. I think it's actually almost identical, except it was in better condition than this piece. Now the rest of these I've placed to be in the 1980s. It's possible this one here is from the 70s, but we'll get to that in a moment. Next one is Hunt's Fruit Cocktail and Heavy Syrup. It's got gigantic ribs on the can, and if you look at the evidence, this thing was bulging at first, but it lost its pressure as the bottom rusted out. Fruit tends to be pretty acidic, so you see those massive holes. Most of it has shooken out through the bottom, but there's a little bit of dusty and clumps banging around in there still. Let's get a close-up look. If anyone wants to read it, you can pause it. I'm just going to make sure it focuses in so everybody can look at it. And up next is Ocean Spray, covered in black mold, and up on the top, noticeably leaking. The picture looks very unpleasant. It looks like a big slurry of diarrhea on some giant steak french fries. Whole berry cranberry sauce. Now that's better. On the back, that picture looks a lot more appetizing than the front. And there's the back to the really old one. And here's this one, which is possibly from the 70s. Also got some mold on the surface of this can. This one still has a lot of pressure built in it. That's going to let out a lot of air when we finally get this thing open. And the last one over here. It's got something banging around inside it. Whole bottom is rusted out. You see all that powder coming out of it? The can and contents are deteriorating so bad. Tomatoes are very acidic. It went through the entire can. If you look up top, it looks like it was possibly dropped at one point. But you can see the top is also bulged. Before the bottom let loose, it was building a lot of pressure. This one right here, it's also possible it is from the 70s. If not, it's from the early 80s. Now that I'm getting a better look at it, maybe it is from the 70s. It's very hard to be exactly sure. There's very little images or information you can match up with these online. All right, let's get our nice can opener out and start opening these up, and we'll dump them out into our little cooking pan. All right, this one we're going to go ahead and put off to the side since there's nothing inside it. It's just a display. And the next one right here, we're going to go ahead and start opening it up. Can opener might not like this because it's very rusty on the bottom. It's very rusty. This can opener does not like it. Very dusty in there. Very little of the contents remaining. Just a bunch of dried up nasty stuff. Try not to breathe in that dust. Up next, this one's definitely got stuff in it. I think it's going to be really gross based on that picture. No pressure at all. This is going to be nasty. Woo! Yucky. Terrifying. Now the black eye Pocahontas peas. Oh, a lot of pressure in that one. Another rusty can. Can opener does not like this. I'm going around multiple times, but it's not opening it right. There we go. Finally starting to open. Alright, that's good enough. We can pry the rest open. This is going to be very, very gross. Look at that. Ooh, 1960s peas. Nearly 60 years old. And just for everyone knows, nothing I have opened reeks just yet. None of it is that stinky. Now, here we go with another container of black-eyed peas. This one's under a lot of pressure. Here we go, pressure. Let's see. I'm worried it's going to spray at me. Whoa! Not as gross, but we're there. One more can. Can opener's not going to like this, I can tell. And I don't even think we need the can opener to do this job. Look at that. literally just snapped the rust. And there's the contents. It's very dusty in there. I can see it in the air. Whoop, look at that. It dried up into that little chunk. So it looks like when you have tomatoes and all the moisture's removed, you're just left with that little grayish brown hockey puck looking thing. And that's it. I'm going to go ahead and clean out these cans and keep them in my collection. Put them up on these shelves. That's why I always open from the bottom. Ones like this, not even going to attempt cleaning. Just going to knock out as much rust as I can, and it's going on a shelf. Don't want to risk damaging it. Ones like this, I will fill with water and dump it out without ever getting the label wet. Same with this. Possibly put a little drop of dish soap in there. Let it soak overnight. This one right here will just be banged out. And this one right here, I'll probably do the soap thing again. Look at those thick ribs. These cans are much stronger and superior to what you'd buy today at a grocery store. Check out all that rust chips all over my table. For the first time, we're gonna go feed this to the toilet instead of the sink or the fireplace. All right, opened it up. Let's give it a big flush. That toilet just got rid of it all in one tiny little flush. I'm amazed. We're going to give this thing one more flush. I feel like it's still sitting in the pipe right below it. Because I know when I put the pipes in for this toilet, it's got like a flat spot before it starts sloping to the septic system. Round 2. Hope today's video was interesting, everybody. Thanks for watching.